Welcome back to the next video series on this training related to Google Forms. In order to start off this training, I'm going to take you to 3 websites. This particular characteristic is optional, unnecessary, totally up to you. If you would like to add symbols or unique text features to the form that you're working with, that's what this particular video is going to introduce you to. The very first website that I'm going to head to is emojicopy.com. If for some reason you would like a symbol to appear in the title or in any specific question, you're more than welcome to select items from this image bank. And another option would be if you actually wanted an emoji to actually be the answer to a question. How are you feeling today? Would you like to supply a thumbs up or a thumbs down? If for some reason any of these symbols are helpful for your teaching environment or for a survey that you are gathering, then feel free to use any of these symbols. To get started, I'm going to click the search button right up here. To get started, I'm going to type the word boots in this space, and then I'm going to press enter on my keyboard. You will notice that several items in the shoe category appeared in this space. If I change my mind and I have decided, oops, just kidding, that is not what interests me, I can scoot over to the X right here in order to disengage from the search query, and I can return to the main page. Another strategy that I can use in order to search for content is these gray items that appear up here. You'll notice that the first one is blue, so I'm on that list of options. If I were to click right here on the animal, it's going to scoot me down to animals and nature. Likewise, the adjacent items will allow me to navigate the rest of the page seamlessly. Or I can scroll the page on my own using the bar on the right. Let me choose table tennis or ping pong. I'm going to click right here one time, and then you'll notice how this popped up. I'm going to choose copy in order to copy that. The other option is if I keep selecting items and then I choose copy, then it's going to copy all of them at the same time. So choose the strategy that is most efficient for you. If you want several items to appear in there, then you can copy those. You can also override that. I have clicked into this space. I am using my keyboard. I'm moving to the left. I'm going to move to the left one more time. I'm going to press backspace one time, and the one item that I wanted to disappear is now gone. I'm going to click copy right here, and it appears as though nothing happened. It's copied to what's called the clipboard. I'm going to scoot back over here to my Google form, and I'm going to scoot down to a newly created question that I tucked into the bottom. I actually deleted a question and then I just put additional feedback here. Although the sports images really have nothing to do with additional feedback here, I'm going to click in this space. I'm going to press the space bar one time. I'm going to use my keyboard and I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm going to touch the letter V for victory, and then each of those symbols will appear here. If I want all of them, but not all of them together, I can illuminate or cast a shadow. I'm holding the shift button down and I'm using the arrow. I'm going to copy, Control C. I'm going to press backspace one time to get rid of the ones that I just copied. I'm going to scoot all the way over to the beginning because I'm going to deposit those characters that I just copied over here at the beginning. I'm going to hold the control button down. I'm going to touch V for victory one time. I'm going to press the space bar just because I want the spacing to be a little bit persnickety. And if you're disappointed that it's imbalanced, that I have 3 on one side and 2 on the other, I'll come in here and I'll delete one of them. There, it's now balanced. I have 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So this is what it looks like if you want any symbols to appear in here. And then if you wanted multiple choice instead of short answer for this particular question, right here where it says option 1, I can click, I can delete, and then I can paste any answer options into that space. This is not a perfect example, but I'm just highlighting or showing you that some of those images from Emoji Copy could be answer options or could be part of an answer option if you so choose. If at any point you wish to add unique font characteristics to a particular question, unfortunately that needs to happen outside of Google. You're going to copy that and then bring it back in. Let me go ahead and model this strategy for you. Let me add a new question and then I'll walk you through those steps. All right, I have deposited some quiz questions in here that are specific to the novel entitled Bridge to Terabithia. And while these may not be the most perfect questions to highlight what I'm talking about, it's still a decent resource to utilize in order to model these characteristics for you. Housed inside of any particular question, you may want your audience to focus on one word or a phrase or an idea that they may skip over very easily. For example, this question right here says, which of the following is not one of Leslie's hobbies or interests? And some of our students may quickly read over that question and totally abandon the word not and then respond to the question incorrectly. My first choice is, well, why don't I just come in here and then when I click on the word not, well, can't I just do Control B for bold or Control U for underline or Control I for italicized? Because that's what I do inside of Google Docs, but it does not work. So in order to utilize those text emphasizing characteristics, I would want to come to an outside resource. One particular website is textfancy.com. This is one resource that you can use in order to apply unique text characteristics into this space. Another option is that you can go to a resource by the name of coolsymbol.com. Let me model one resource at a time. They both do exactly the same thing. When you head into coolsymbol.com, and I have chosen font generator and font changer. So when you immediately land on the website, it's going to look like this, very different from what I was showing you a second ago. Over on the right-hand side, it says site navigation, and you can choose the second item where it says font generator and font changer. You also have tab number 4 right here, where it says font changer. Either one of those will take you to that same space. Let me click right here where it says font generator and font changer. I'm going to type in the text that I want changed into this particular box right here. And for the example that I'm working with, I want all lowercase letters and I only want the word not. So nothing dynamic, not a full sentence, only the word not. I'm going to scroll down the screen just a bit and show you that there are several font options to choose from. Some of the font options in here are a little bit obnoxious and they're not very helpful for academic purposes, so I'm going to avoid most of those. Once you have chosen the font that meets your needs, go ahead and click the copy button over here on the right-hand side. After clicking the copy button, this large box will appear letting you know that your font has been copied. I'm going to choose close right here. I'm going to scoot back over to where I was, right here where it says not. Let's see the difference. If I back out the text and then I just do not in the font that was originally there, let's do a comparison. I'm going to do Control V for victory, and the one that I have selected from that other page is actually not that dynamic. I'll be honest with you, I don't like it very much. Let's go ahead and back that out, and I want to find one that's a little bit more dynamic. Let's head over here to the second website. Same situation over here. I want to type my text into this area, and then I'm going to press enter on my keyboard. And then all the way down here, it automatically begins to change. And then if I scoot down the screen, right here it says Fancy Font Converter. At the bottom of that section, when I click More Styles, this is where it's going to take me over to the page that we saw a moment ago, where it's a long list of font options. It's going to show you a sample in the middle. I've chosen this one. It's simple yet bold. When I click directly on it, this is how I'm going to copy the font. You'll notice over on the right that it doesn't say copy over here. You're actually literally just going to click on it. Let's scoot back over here. Let's head over to that Bridge to Terabithia question, and I'm going to paste right next to it to see if I like it better. All caps, a little bit, stands out just a little bit more. I'm going to get rid of the original one, and then if you want to put asterisks on either side, you're more than welcome to apply that same strategy as well. That way, as your students head through the question, they don't skip that particular detail. Maybe augmenting one specific word isn't what you're looking for. Maybe you would like a phrase or a sentence to stand out. Let's see what that looks like. I have infused this statement. This is the last question. Nicely done. Wait, let me click one time right here. I have copied that. Let me scoot back over here to the actual form. Let's scoot down to the last question. Click into this space. I'm going to head over to the beginning of the question. Control V for victory. I do not have the capacity to press enter in order to force this down to the next line. Using the space bar over and over and over again will not yield the outcome that you are hoping for. It's not going to automatically send that text down to the next line. Let me reveal to you that the spacebar is an inefficient tool to drop information from the first line to the second line, because you'll notice here in that viewing space that the only thing that's been applied is a really long space. So an alternative option to efficiently tuck information like this into any specific question, I recommend coming down here to the More button instead. Inside of the More button, supply a description so that this information, this text, can be outside of the actual question efficiently. I'm going to hold the Control button down. I'm going to touch V for victory. And then inside the description space, this information will be housed right here. I can come back into this original space. I can illuminate that text and then delete it from the space up here, but I do not want to delete the actual question, so let me be careful with how much information I remove. I'm going to scoot over here to the preview space. Inside of the preview space, I'm going to choose the refresh button so I can see what those adjustments look like. You'll notice how that text has been offset. The question is here on line 1. The description is down here on the bottom. Another alternative inside of this description space would be to remind the students to check their work carefully before they press the submit button. Some of our dear students definitely need that reminder, and tucking that in here in the last question might be beneficial. Please remember to review all answer options and questions before you press the submit button. Feel free to utilize whatever text you think is most efficient in that space. Thank you so much for paying attention to today's tutorial. Please join me for the next one, and have a great day.